Nelson Mandela's journey from a small village in South Africa to becoming the country's first black president is nothing short of legendary. But his story isn't just one of personal triumph. It's a testament to the indomitable human spirit, resilience, and the pursuit of justice. Let's dive into the fascinating life of a man whose legacy continues to shape the world. The early years. A boy from Mvezo. Born on July 18, 1918. In the rural village of Mvezo, Mandela's early life was steeped in the traditions of the Thembu people, a subgroup of the Xhosa nation. His father, a local chief and counselor to the Thembu royal family, passed away when Mandela was only 9 years old, a loss that thrust him into the care of the Thembu regent, John Gintaba. This early exposure to leadership and decision-making planted the seeds of Mandela's future role as a leader. Despite the cultural richness of his upbringing, young Mandela also faced the harsh realities of racial discrimination and poverty that characterized South Africa during the early 20th century. These formative experiences in Mvezo and later in Kunu, where his family moved, would shape his deep empathy for the struggles of the common South African, a quality that defined his leadership style throughout his life. Education, the path to leadership. Mandela's education journey wasn't a straight path. Initially, he was groomed for a role in the Thembu leadership, but his schooling introduced him to the broader world of ideas and politics. After attending a local mission school, Mandela was sent to the prestigious University of Fort Hare, the first university in Southern Africa to offer higher education to Black Africans. However, his time there was cut short due to his involvement in a student protest, a harbinger of his lifelong commitment to activism. Despite this setback, Mandela completed his law degree through correspondence while working as a clerk in a law firm. This period of his life was marked by significant challenges, including systemic racism and financial difficulties. Yet Mandela's determination to succeed in his studies laid the foundation for his future role as a lawyer and leader in the struggle against apartheid, demonstrating his belief that education was a powerful tool for personal and societal change. The fight begins, joining the African National Congress. Mandela's political activism took root when he joined the African National Congress in 1944. At a time when South Africa was tightening its grip on apartheid, the young Mandela, along with other emerging leaders like Oliver Tambo and Walter Sisulu, formed the African National Congress Youth League, advocating for a more radical approach to challenging the oppressive system. Their efforts culminated in the 1952 Defiance Campaign, a mass civil disobedience movement that galvanized national and international attention to the plight of Black South Africans. Mandela's leadership in these early campaigns showcased his ability to mobilize and inspire others, setting the stage for his later role as a key figure in the anti-apartheid movement. These actions were risky and led to his first brushes with the law, including arrests and bans, but they also solidified his reputation as a formidable leader who was unafraid to challenge the status quo, no matter the personal cost. The Sharpeville Massacre, a turning point. The brutal crackdown at Sharpeville in 1960, where 69 peaceful protesters were killed, marked a significant shift in Mandela's tactics. Until this point, Mandela and the African National Congress had largely adhered to principles of nonviolent resistance, inspired by figures like Gandhi. However, the massacre revealed the regime's willingness to use extreme violence to maintain its hold on power, prompting Mandela and his comrades to reconsider their approach. Abandoning nonviolence, Mandela co-founded Umkhonto we Sizwe, the armed wing of the African National Congress, which began a campaign of sabotage against government installations. This decision was not taken lightly. It was a desperate response to a brutal regime that left no room for peaceful dissent. Mandela's embrace of armed struggle marked a turning point in the fight against apartheid, signaling to the world that the African National Congress was prepared to take whatever measures necessary to achieve freedom. This period of armed resistance was fraught with danger, but it also drew global attention to the injustices of apartheid, further isolating the South African government on the international stage. The Rivonia Trial, Mandela's Day in Court. In 1964, Mandela was sentenced to life imprisonment at the infamous Rivonia Trial. His closing statement, where he declared his willingness to die for a free South Africa, electrified the world. Mandela's words during this trial were not just a defense against the charges of sabotage, but a powerful indictment of the apartheid system. He articulated a vision for a just and equal society that resonated far beyond the courtroom, inspiring activists and ordinary citizens around the globe. The Rivonia trial also marked a turning point in international perceptions of the apartheid regime, as Mandela's eloquence and moral authority contrasted sharply with the brutality of the government he opposed. Despite the heavy sentence, Mandela's resolve never wavered, and his imprisonment became a symbol of the broader struggle for liberation. The trial and his subsequent incarceration on Robben Island turned Mandela into a global icon of resistance against oppression. 27 years of darkness, Robben Island. Mandela spent 27 years in prison, much of it on Robben Island, where he endured backbreaking labor and isolation. The harsh conditions, which included limited communication with the outside world and the constant threat of further punishment, were designed to break his spirit. Yet Mandela used this time to strengthen his resolve and further his understanding of the political landscape. He also built relationships with his fellow prisoners, fostering a sense of unity and purpose among them. Remarkably, Mandela also engaged in secret talks with the apartheid government from his prison cell, laying the groundwork for future negotiations. His ability to maintain his dignity and humanity in such dire circumstances inspired both his fellow inmates and the growing anti-apartheid movement outside. Robben Island became a symbol of the broader struggle, with Mandela as its most famous prisoner, representing the perseverance of the human spirit in the face of extreme adversity. The long walk to freedom. Mandela's release. February 11, 1990 was a day that changed the course of history. Mandela walked out of prison with his fist raised high, a symbol of defiance and hope. His release was not just the end of his physical imprisonment, but the beginning of a new chapter for South Africa. The years leading up to his release were marked by intense negotiations, both publicly and behind the scenes, as the apartheid government grappled with mounting internal and external pressures. Mandela's freedom was a testament to the power of sustained activism, both within South Africa and internationally. His release was met with jubilation around the world, but it also signaled the beginning of a new and challenging phase, the negotiation of a peaceful transition to democracy. Mandela's focus on reconciliation and his commitment to a peaceful resolution of the conflict were critical in preventing South Africa from descending into civil war, earning him respect and admiration globally. Negotiating the new South Africa, a delicate dance. Mandela's greatest achievement was arguably his role in negotiating the peaceful transition from apartheid to democracy. These negotiations were a delicate and often dangerous balancing act, as Mandela had to navigate the demands of various factions within the ANC, as well as the fears of the white minority and other political groups. His ability to maintain unity among the diverse and often conflicting groups was crucial to the success of the talks. The transition period was marked by intense violence and uncertainty, but Mandela's leadership was a stabilizing force. His willingness to forgive his former enemies, including the very architects of apartheid, showcased his extraordinary leadership and dedication to a unified South Africa. This period also saw the drafting of a new constitution, which enshrined the principles of democracy, equality, and human rights, values that Mandela had fought for his entire life. Despite the immense challenges, Mandela's vision of a peaceful and democratic South Africa became a reality, marking a significant turning point in the nation's history. The presidency, leading a nation. In 1994, Mandela became South Africa's first black president, a victory not just for him, but for the millions who had suffered under apartheid. His presidency was marked by efforts to heal the deep wounds left by decades of racial oppression. One of his most significant initiatives was the establishment of the Truth and Reconciliation Commission, TRC, which aimed to uncover the truth about human rights violations during the apartheid era and promote national healing through forgiveness and reconciliation. Mandela's focus on reconciliation and nation-building was central to his presidency, but it also required making difficult compromises. These included economic policies that, while stabilizing the country, left some of the deep economic inequalities intact. a source of debate in contemporary South Africa. Nonetheless, Mandela's presidency laid the foundation for a democratic South Africa, earning him the love and respect of millions both at home and abroad. And that's a wrap on Nelson Mandela's incredible journey from poverty to presidency. If you found this video insightful, don't forget to hit the like button. And if you want more deep dives into fascinating histories and remarkable lives, make sure to subscribe and click the bell icon to stay updated on all our latest content. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next video.